I know I don't trust Fauci or frankly Dr. Collins to tell us the truth about much these days. So that's why we're suing in court. So Dr. Fauci isn't the only bureaucrat we're interested in when it comes to the COVID confusion and disaster that we're still in because of, in my view, decisions by these public health authorities. But there are a lot of controversies around COVID, and a lot of them tie to gain of function research and whether gain of function research in part or directly help lead to the creation of this virus that ended infecting everyone. Gain of function research, again, is someone purposely taking a virus and making it more likely to infect and harm human beings. Now, we don't know for sure whether that happened, but it's in some ways an open question. Now, it could have been in a lab like the Wuhan Institute and gotten out, and there was no gain of function virus. It was just a virus that was there and got out, or it could have gone out naturally as well, meaning it came from the natural world, not from the lab. So Francis Collins is director of the National Institutes for Health. So in theory, he's Fauci's boss. And he's gotten, in many ways, a free pass from the media and the establishment class for what NIH has been doing with the Wuhan Institute, the gain of function research funding, generally the funding of China, which Judicial Watch has been virtually alone in exposing and detailing. And so what Judicial Watch has done is filed a lawsuit about Dr. Francis Collins' emails. Imagine that, asking for the emails of a top government official who is managing, in part, the government response to COVID. So we asked for three things. We said we want documents, all emails that he had related to gain of function research, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and dare I say it, hydroxychloroquine. Now, hydroxychloroquine is a drug that's approved by the FDA. It's been out there forever. That's approved for certain uses to combat malaria, and it helps with lupus and such. And there have been studies that suggest, some studies suggest it's not helpful. Other studies suggest it is helpful in curtailing or treating COVID. So the jury's out on that, but we're not allowed to even ask questions about it or demand more answers about it because of the censorship encouraged by the government and furthered by big tech about it. So I've been locked out of Twitter for making a completely correct and innocent comment about hydroxychloroquine. I'm still locked out of Twitter. The Taliban can tweet, but I'm locked out. That shows you how crazy things are. So we asked for these records back in June of 2021, just a few months ago. We didn't get them. So we've got this gain of function research that Collins and Fauci have denied takes place or is being funded, practically speaking. So we want to know what's going on. What do you know? When did you know it? Now, what's interesting is the Washington Post, I may have referenced this last week, but I didn't give you the details. The Washington Post on August 26th, disputed seemingly Collins' claim that, and this is what Collins said, NIH and the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases have for many years supported grants to learn more about viruses lurking in bats and other mammals that have the potential to spill over to humans and cause widespread disease. However, neither NIH nor NIAID have ever approved any grant that would have supported gain of function research on coronaviruses that would have increased their transmissibility or lethality for humans. Well, I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't think it is correct based on what they've been funding that I know publicly about. This is what the Washington Post reported last week. In the United States, NIH Director Francis Collins and Anthony Fauci, Director of the agency's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, have led the federal funding and oversight of gain-of-function research. 8 years ago, Collins and Fauci helped put in place high-level reviews and other safeguards in response to concerns raised by David Relman, a Stanford University physician and microbiologist, and aides to Barack Obama, who were alarmed by what they saw as insufficient scrutiny of the research with ferrets. The NIH leaders and Department of Health and Human Services pledged to subject the work to increased transparency and vetting. This included forming a review group of federal officials known informally as a ferrets committee to vet proposed projects for safety and worthiness. However, Collins and Fauci in recent years have helped shape policy changes directly and through their aides that undercut the committee's authority. Since then, the experiments have continued to unfold amid secrecy. And HHS, which administers the review committee, has kept its work confidential. No agendas, meetings, or other records of its proceedings are public. Even the names of the federal officials assigned to serve on the committee, which has spanned the Obama and Trump and Biden administrations, are kept secret. And the story goes on to describe how they've effectively been funding gain of function. So we'll see what the documents show. And as I read this, I'm like, oh, we got to do a FOIA on this too, right? We also again asked about hydroxychloroquine. Now, he told 60 Minutes, Francis Collins did, that basically it was a bust. Maybe he got in the way of trying other kinds of repurposed drugs. All the enthusiasm about hydroxychloroquine was basically dependent on anecdotal reports. And that did leave everybody with kind of a sour taste in their mouths. We had to get over that. I think we're over it now. He said that in March. So basically, he's attacking Trump there. Now, of course, it wasn't based on anecdotal reports. The questions about whether hydroxychloroquine was useful was based on studies. Now, people criticize the studies or suggest other studies show it shouldn't be used, and people say you should stay away from it. But to say it's anecdotal is just silly. So we'll see there. So as I say, the NIH is in full color mode about the COVID-19 controversies in politics. Where are the emails? Now, we're already in court fighting for Fauci documents. Now we're in court fighting for Collins documents. Again, this is the basic work that Congress should be doing, but will never do. It's not even based on policy. They just never will do it. Now, there are members who individually are doing investigations. I know Rand Paul is doing it. Senator Johnson's doing it, but they're getting the runaround. I know they're getting the runaround. So are you interested in COVID? Are you interested in the Wuhan Institute? Are you interested in hydroxychloroquine and what the government knows about it and whether or not it's being treated in a way it should be treated as in terms of its potential or not, lack of potential? I don't know. I know I don't trust Fauci or frankly Dr. Collins to tell us the truth about much these days. So that's why we're suing in court.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.